How to marry a Malay woman. This is the topic of today's video. But before I tell the story, I just wanna let you know where I am today. Still in Kota Kinabalu in KK in North Borneo, East Malaysia. And today I'm gonna show you the Filipino market as promised. Right now I'm at a gigantic wet market basically, and the Filipino market comes later, so just for information. And East Malaysia, or the place where I am, is actually a great blend of Malaysia, Indonesia and the Philippines. Yeah, you have all of these people living here, and that's why I like it so much. So here's the story. About 7 years ago, I was sitting in my chef's office while I was working here for a 5-star hotel, big resort hotel, and in comes a very young, attractive Muslim woman, 24 years old. Her name was Mila, asking me whether I need a secretary. And yes, indeed, I needed a secretary. So I interviewed her and asked her a few questions. She seemed to be very sympathetic. I hired her straight away. She was a very smart and intelligent young woman. A few years later, about 3 years later, I saw an Instagram post. I saw her Instagram post, as a matter of fact. And I saw that she got married. Yeah, she posted her wedding pics on Instagram, and to my surprise, I saw her newly wedded husband, and I knew that guy because he was one of my kitchen staff. And his name still is Basil. So Basil, one of my main kitchen staff, hot kitchen staff, married my secretary. And I was happy for both of them. I just remember that I texted Mila at the time, "Oh, so you got married now? You picked the most handsome guy from my entire kitchen team, or from our entire kitchen team, and now we are actually entering the Filipino market here. They are selling a lot of handicrafts and stuff." Yeah, without further commenting. Yeah. You will just see the pictures while I'm telling the story of Mila and Basil. And of course both were Muslims, or still are Muslims, okay? Mila is a Muslim girl and Basil is a Muslim guy. So so I teased her a bit about that she picked, out of all my male stuff, the most handsome guy. She was just laughing. But anyway, now, just a few days ago, I met Basil again after like 7 years. And he is still working at this hotel. And it was nice to catch up with him. Meanwhile, he speaks English. At the time, he didn't speak English at all. This is the Filipino market here. Most of them illegally immigrated to Malaysia, but that doesn't matter. Maybe we will hear some Visayan language here, okay? So let us dive into the Filipino market. And yeah, it was nice to catch up with Basil, but since he was still working in this hotel, I wanted to know the story. I told him, "Basil, now you tell me the story with you and Mila. How did you guys get married?" And he was happy to share the story, because I wanted to know what happened. You know, how did you manage to get married to her? So he was happy to share the story, and he told me that at the time when we three were working there, I was the chef, Mila was my secretary, and Basil was my kitchen staff in the hot kitchen at the time. Mila and Basil, they didn't know each other. Yeah? Okay. They didn't know each other. Sorry. And so, because Mila had a boyfriend anyway, but Basil told me that a few years later Mila was single and he found out about it. So he contacted her because he found her already then very attractive. Yeah. But she had a boyfriend, so what to do, you know? And so Basil, as soon he found out that my secretary, at the time not my secretary anymore, as soon he found out that she is single, he started to text with her, right? And there's some food over there. They're preparing for dinner. That's a big food bazaar in the nighttime here. We're still here on the Filipino market. So Basil started to chat with Mila. And Basil told me, you know, chef, he still calls me chef today, you know, all my previous stuff, my ex stuff, when they see me, they still call me chef, even I'm not the chef anymore. So that's the Filipino market. A lot of handicrafts and stuff. Anyway, let's get out of here. You see some guys also doing sewing jobs and stuff. Not the ladies doing it, but the guys. Anyway, so I know you want me to continue the story. So both guys started chatting with each other, and one night Basil had a dream. He dreamt that he is getting married to Mila. Okay, so far so good. The next morning then he told me the next morning after he woke up, he texted Mila, he sent her a WhatsApp telling her, writing her that he is going to marry her. Just like that, very directly, he told her. And Mila, of course, was a little bit shocked and surprised and just asked him, are you serious? And Basil said, yes, I am serious. Long story short, as you know, they are married already, have 2 kids. Actually have 1 kid, but Mila is pregnant with another baby. She is due any moment these days. And yeah, they are still married, happily married. This is how you marry a Malay woman, but the message of the story is actually also very interesting. So before I continue that part here, you see this is still part of this gigantic complex here. Here now you have all the dry goods. Yeah, we started with fruits and vegetables. Here is another fruit and vegetable section. I can just show you around a little bit because this is part of this culture in the city here. All the people you see here on this video are I don't even know, Filipinos. The Filipinos from the southern part of the Philippines, yeah, Mindanao province. Filipinos, Indonesians from Sulawesi. We have local Sabahan people here. Yeah, you have Malay people here. We are in Malaysia, but this part of Malaysia is a completely different world. You cannot compare it to Peninsular Malaysia or even Kuala Lumpur. This part here, Borneo, has a completely different vibe. Yeah. Anyway, what I wanted to, so this is how you get married. And so I asked Basil also, so is this Islam tradition, is this Islamic culture to go direct like that? He said, yes, this is actually the traditional way. Yeah. So even though they haven't dated before, he straightforwardly asked her whether she wants to get married with him, and she said yes. Why? Because she knew him already. These guys worked together for a couple of years, so she knew that Basil was a nice guy, a good guy, good character guy, which I can confirm. Yeah? And that's how it's been done still today in 2025. Of course, Basil told me he was in a relationship with his girlfriend for 8 years, a previous girlfriend, and we didn't talk about sex. So I didn't ask him because I felt a little bit uncomfortable. It was a little bit too private, you know. But I asked him. So I didn't ask him about whether he had premarital sex with his ex-girlfriend. But with Mila, with his now wife, they definitely had no premarital sex, yeah? Because the first sex happened after the wedding, yeah? Like it is tradition in so many cultures and countries, and this is how she also got pregnant then, yeah? So this is the tradition, this is the culture, this is how you marry a Malay woman. You can go very direct, yeah? And what I actually also want to say is, this is part of the culture in Southeast Asia, still also in other countries, and it has not necessarily something to do with Muslim or Islamic culture. Yeah? I asked Basil because I wanted to know exactly. So I asked him, so if you, as a Muslim guy, you get married, can you date before you get married? He said, yes, chef, no problem. You can date, you can do everything, yeah, and then you can get married. You can date your girl for many years, yeah, but you also can go the traditional way, yeah, and ask any girl you like whether she wants to get married with you, just like that. Crazy, yeah? In the Western world, we don't do like that, right? But of course, he had to ask her parents, yeah, for approval. Okay. Mila was okay, she said yes, but her parents still needed to approve of that. And you might remember this area here, but I don't want to show you this again. I want to cross the street now here. Gonna be back in a second. So this is a very interesting dynamic, yeah? And this also applies when you actually date women, or you are in the process to get to know women, and or you want to become a boyfriend of a local woman in Southeast Asia. Yeah? The dynamics are totally different than in Western countries. I mean, I remember when I was dating in Germany, German girls, for example. And you know, yeah, you meet some girls, you get attracted to each other, and yeah, then at some point you are just a couple, boyfriend and girlfriend. This is just happening without saying anything, without announcing anything. It's before you know, you are just a couple. So there is no sequence to it, right? This is at least my experience. But here in Asia it's different, and this is what I had to learn. And I also had to wrap my mind around this thing. Because here in Asia the dynamics are different. It's still very conservative and traditional. Gender roles also. Women are very shy. It doesn't matter in the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, yeah. I talked about this in other videos. If you're interested in a girl here, you in Indonesia, Malaysia, any Southeast Asian country, and she likes you also. Let's say you have started to meet. You had already 2-3 dates in a coffee shop or ice cream shop, or maybe you went to the movies, and you also can sense that she really likes you and you also like her. Then actually it's very easy to get together with her. How? Very simple. You just clarify, you state that you like her, and yeah, you tell her that you want to be her boyfriend. Or you can ask her, do you want to be my girlfriend? It sounds weird, I know, We don't do that in Germany or in Europe. Yeah, this is like this, it sounds a little bit kindergarten style, like, you know, a little bit childish, right? Like like we used to do it in the kindergarten in Germany. Like, do you want to be my girlfriend? You know, we used to do that when we were like, I don't know, 5 years old, right? Or 8 years old later in school. But it's a little bit windy here, I'm gonna turn around. So, but in Asia, this is how it's been done. And this is actually a good thing, because you don't need to sweat it that much, you know. This is the same story in Vietnam. I told you about that. A Vietnamese girl had to educate me about that, yeah. When I was dating a Vietnamese girl a few years back, I remember I was sitting with her in a restaurant having lunch, and we were going out with each other for a few weeks already, and then suddenly she asked me, so Marcel, what is between us now exactly? What is the situation? And I told her, you know, yeah, it's good that you ask, because yeah, what is between us now? Later I found out, and I was also a little bit confused, right? Because I didn't know what she means. So, but later she explicitly wrote me in a message that she expected from me, or wanted me, that I make a clear official statement: you are my girlfriend now, and I am your boyfriend, and we are exclusive. Yeah. And I was like, what the hell is this? What is this? I was really confused, you know. She seriously want me to announce that we are now officially boyfriend and girlfriend. And yes, this is how it's being played in Vietnam, at least with this girl I was dating at the time. And I hear it also from other couples there. This is, or that was the traditional way in Vietnam, but it is also the case in for example, in Indonesia. Yeah, the girl will never take the initiative, because it's not her job. It is expected from you as a man to clarify the situation, to clarify the status, and it needs to be done by the man. Even the girl likes you so much, even she loves you, even she is so crazy for you, nothing will come out of her mouth. This is just her role. This is, she is kind of not allowed to do that, because of the tradition, the gender roles. I don't know. This is something very prevalent still in Asia, and one has to understand that. One has to know about these dynamics, not to get confused and make mistakes. And maybe some guys are waiting and thinking, this girl is not interested in me and nothing, and you know, we are not coming closer. What is happening? While in Germany or in Western countries, you know, once you are attracted to each other, you come closer automatically, and things happen also very quickly. But here, then there seems to be a barrier, and you get like confused, and then maybe you get disappointed, and maybe you dump her, you know. But then it was maybe just a big misunderstanding, because actually this girl just was waiting for you to make the first move, you know. But you didn't do it. So she thought, this guy is not serious, or he don't like me, so, and she turned away, or she ran away, you know, she gave up. And you thought the same thing, you know. So, no, you need to know, in an Asian culture, an Asian dating culture, the man makes the first move. Be it when first approaching women, but also later, when you want to get together with this girl, you need to clarify, and that's okay. You can really go so directly and be so direct. You can even say, you know, of course, it would be better, you know, this girl already. It would be ideal if you have met her already a few times and you went out together, you know. So if this is the case, then you really could say, look, girl, or I don't know what her name should be, Maya, let's call her Maya. So you can say, look, Maya, I really like you. I enjoy the time being with you. Do you want to be my girlfriend? Yeah, this is the question you can ask. I know, it sounds cringe, right? I know in Germany I never done this, and I never would do it, and I never hear it of anybody in my circle of friends or acquaintances who ever done this. But here you can do it, and maybe it is probably also necessary, because, you know, yeah, the women are also expecting that. They need also clarification. Yeah, there's no like wishy-washy flirting like in Western countries. Yeah, the women need, number one, clarification from you, and also because they are too shy, they will not take the initiative. So this is what I wanted to share with you in this video. I remember another incident many years back when I worked in Indonesia. I had a colleague, her name was Fatma. She was a Muslim girl, she was a waitress, and I remember flirting with her, and at one point I told her, I'm gonna marry you. I told her, I remember I wrote it in a Facebook message. I wrote her, Fatma, I'm gonna marry you. I will marry you. But it was just a joke. At the time, I was just joking. And she must have communicated my message to her female colleagues. And believe it or not, years later, even many years later, she still kind of had a grudge on me. Is this how you say in English? Having a grudge on somebody? Not so familiar with these expressions, but you know what I mean. She's not really a grudge, but she was a little bit upset that I made only fun of her at the time. She took it so seriously. I was not aware of this, because I was not aware of this dynamic, right? So, really, seriously. And I thought, oh my God, you know, she took that seriously. You know, if I tell any woman in Germany I work with, I'm gonna marry you, you know what she would do? The German woman, she would say, I must tell you, what's wrong with you? Are you crazy or what? Haven't you take your medicine this morning? Or so she would knew, the German woman would know I'm a bad joker, you know. But these Indonesian girls, you know, they take that very serious. This is their culture, you know. So you have to be also very careful, you know, what you say and what you promise, because Indonesian women are very emotional and very sensitive, and they take your word for it, you know. So that's why it's also very easy to to get things done and be very direct. Actually, it's so convenient. It's way more convenient and easier, right? You don't need to scratch your head and figure out some tactics and strategies and this and that, and how to be a man and how to be this and that, and how to be like Andrew Tate and the cool guy and the tough guy and women and all this bullshit, this crap, all this nonsense. Really, seriously, I'm so fed up with, you know, this new male culture there and all this crap, you know. You don't need this in Indonesia, you don't need this in the Philippines, you don't need this in Malaysia, you don't need this in Cambodia or Laos. Yeah. This is all bollocks. What you need to be in these countries here is just yourself, you know. And yeah, be yourself, be honest, know what you want, don't lie to the girl, and follow up on what you say. Yeah, actions speak louder than words, and stick to your word. Yeah, be be a guy with integrity. And now some of you will say, yeah, Marcel, but you have been lying also. Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, you see, yes, I lied, but this is the lesson I learned, you know. And yeah, that was the story, that was the message. Actually, it's a good thing. It's actually easier to get together with girls here, you know. It's so easy, yeah, because you can really basically just, if you sense somehow that the girl is into you, and we can sense that, right? You guys can sense that. We have experience. We can sense somehow if a woman is into us or not, right? Most of us can basically judge it correctly. So if you sense that a Asian woman is into you, you can fix things very quickly. You just go to her and go to her and tell her, you know, I like you. Do you want to be my girlfriend? That's it. And maybe she just was waiting for your question, you know. When I worked in Malaysia here 8 years ago, I'm just walking around here. I'm showing you some areas already the third time, but I want to finish this video now. Anyway, so this is the last story and then I'm done. So when I arrived here 8 years ago in KK, you know, I remember my second work day, I talked to my restaurant manager. Her name was Anna, a local girl. I knew her already from before, good friend. She told me, chef. I said, yes. Chef, you have one admirer. I said, whoa, nice. I actually have two. And I was curious and I asked her, so yeah, who is it? Yeah, it's Selfie, you know, my waitress, my little waitress here. And who is the other one? It's Alicia. Who is Alicia? Yeah, she works in the other restaurant over there. So I knew that these girls were into me, so it was very, very easy then to proceed. Otherwise, if Anna, the restaurant manager, would have never told me that these girls were into me, I would have probably never figured anything out. Yeah, so because we were at work, and this is always a little bit a different dynamic and situation, right? Even though I just said that you can sense when girls are into you, yeah, but maybe I would have never ever figured something out. So you see, and then I could take action, and I got together with this one girl within days. Yeah, I arrived November 1, and on November 10 we were a couple already. So everything happened very fast because I knew she was into me. Anyway, so with that being said, I'm checking out for today. I hope that could help you a little bit here, clarifying some dating dynamics in Asia. Hope you enjoyed the tour. I'm gonna see you in one of my next videos. Take care, bye bye.